Coach Prime back here the last few days?
Oh, it's great. Who he is as a person, I know we've talked about that, and I hadn't seen him in a long time. And so Friday, we have a staff meeting and kind of one-on-one, we're having a conversation. And the first question he asked is about my family. We talked about it. Luke played baseball with my son. You know, Prime's talking about his stance and all these things, and he wants to know how that's going. So it's just a testament to who he is. Obviously, his leadership is one of one. He's the Pied Piper. The world will follow him if they just listen to him. So we're blessed.
What was your first reaction when you heard the news? What was your thought process?
Scared, I think, like everybody. You know, we're talking about a life here. So this football stuff, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But it's a testament to who he was. He keeps a tight inner circle. You know, again, he was away and we were working, and just knowing that when he comes back, he's going to hit the ground running. And that first staff meeting went about like he thought it would. Hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So it's not like he was, you know, just hanging out. He was taking care of his life, number one, and then worried about his team, number two. So again, a testament to who he is. If we all lived our life like that, the world would be a better place.
Brian, go ahead. Hey,
Hey, Coach.
Hey, bud.
There's so many veteran coaches on this staff.
Yeah.
Did that make it sort of seamless for you guys to just kind of run things out throughout the summer? Like, hey, we know what we're doing here. We've been under Coach Prime now for a little bit. We're also veterans.
Yeah, I just think you got grown men that know they have a job to do, and you should do it to the best of your ability. The conversation was never had, like, if then. I think if we know the guy, what he's already been through, as he talked about in the press conference, we knew he'd be here day one. So, you know, it was our job, obviously, in the summer. It's player acquisition period is already over, so now let's get the best out of the guys when we can. Can't say enough about the strength staff. They've done a phenomenal job. I think when you guys get a chance to look at practice, there's some body types that you look around like, oh, that's who? Is his jersey number right? So it's a testament to everybody. And again, when you're a phenomenal leader, as Coach Prime is, you establish a culture, a situation where people just go to work, and that's what it was. So it was a joy to see.
Go ahead.
Yeah, two-part of one football, one Deion. You talked about early prevention. Does it make you want to maybe get tested and make sure everything's okay with you? I mean, it make you take your own health into consideration?
Oh yeah, I think you got to look around and say, you know, if it can happen to him, then by God, it can happen to anybody. And it just puts things in perspective. I think too often in this profession, we worry about what happens inside these walls more than we worry about what happens outside, and being a husband and being a father and taking care of yourself. So it's eye-opening for sure, and God bless him for going through it. He's obviously phenomenally strong. It touches into the faith aspect of it, which he's talked about at length and does a great job establishing that culture here. So, yeah, if it can happen to him, obviously you want to take care of yourself.
And the football question is, in this day and age of everything going on with the transfer portal and paying players, everything like that, does the best player always play? I mean, how do you make sure that the best player always plays, or make sure that the best player who might leave doesn't? You know what I mean? How do you balance that dynamic?
You're really giving me a recruiting pitch here, so let me make sure I look into the cameras. There is nothing given here. It doesn't matter if you make $1 million or you're a walk-on. I think if you guys think back to the Oklahoma State game last year, I know it's late in the year, we started 3 walk-ons, right? So we're going to play the best players. Some of these stories you hear with guys coming through, it makes no sense to me. I got 4 kids. They like nice things. We need to win games. That's our job. There's a phenomenal city behind us. There's obviously a nation behind us. We're on national TV all the time. We need to go win, and we know what that looks like. As you alluded to with the staff, we have the men here that know what it takes to get to the next level. So it's our job to play the best players, and it is what it is, right? Sometimes life's not fair.
Leo, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, looking at how you've had time with these guys, who stands out to you as the vocal leaders, and who do you think are the guys who lead by example in this defense?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, I guess we're really replacing 7 or 8 starters, however you want to look at it. So I think that's very fluid. You know, I've talked about the guys that I think will take that leadership role. Arden Walker's a guy that this place means a lot to him, obviously with his father and growing up in the area. You know, the linebacker room looks different. I'm excited to hear those voices. We've got some returners in the secondary, obviously Preston and DJ, and then Carter as well, who played a variety of roles. So I think it's still pretty fluid, still too early to tell. I don't think you can anoint leaders. I think people have to follow them. And, you know, we just talked about last year, there's a huge difference in leadership between Cam and Travis. You know what I mean? So hopefully we'll have some Cams and hopefully we'll have some Travises.
Tyler, go ahead.
Speaking of Travis, I mean, you come from the NFL where you're not used to losing your best players, and now without Travis, this fall camp, kind of how do you go about encouraging guys to step up and replace everything he did for you guys defensively?
Yeah, it's a great question. You know, I think the biggest testament, we've talked about it with Travis, is, you know, after you're around him you can clearly define what culture is, right? So culture to me is when your best player is your hardest worker, and that's Travis Hunter. So the guys that had the benefit to be in the room, well, hopefully that gets paid forward. And then the other piece is guys that come in that they saw it from afar, and they want to know what the secret sauce is. How is this guy so successful? So he's touched this place, he's blessed this place, he's blessed me, obviously. And part of that is being different on defense. I think we talked about it in the spring. We'll do some things defensively that are drastically different from what we did last year. A little bit more of the NFL stuff. And it's our job as coaches to take our best players and put them in position to be successful. So that's what we'll try to do.
Scott, go ahead.
Coach, I'll always remember a basketball analogy you gave like last year.
Yeah.
Talking about there's always 5 or 6 guys on the field. Like you call them shooters. You want
Yep.
to give as many shot attempts as possible. I know it's obviously still early, but who have you kind of identified as kind of the shooters on this defense, guys you want to give as many opportunities to show their talent as possible?
Well, I got to give you the coach speak answer there. I'm sorry. Hopefully we have 11 of them. Again, it starts with the guys that are coming back. We really talk about culture here. I think we talked about Prime at length. He does a phenomenal job building that culture. So the guys that have been here, they know how blessed they are, number one. So again, it goes back to that defensive line. Arden Walker, I think Quincy Wiggins done some good things. Obviously, we're much bigger on the inside than last year, so that'll look a little bit different. And then you try to get Preston and DJ in positions where they can go make plays. I think DJ's got a chance to have a breakout year. I tell him this all the time. I think he's probably coming up next, so you guys can tell him that. DJ can be as good as he wants to be. DJ, the world is DJ's oyster. So I'm excited to see what that looks like.
Two more, Jeff. Go ahead.
You see a new face at quarterback. What's the new challenge that you're seeing now that you're facing a different quarterback right now? What do you like about that challenge, and what do you see on the other end that you like?
I think obviously we're seeing 2-3 different guys. Pat's done a phenomenal job this offseason of kind of molding and morphing what we need to be. Obviously, I love Shador. He won a lot of games for us. Shador was not the college quarterback in terms of running around and doing those things. He could, but it was more drop back pass game. So, there's some 11-on-11 situations there, and I think they're both doing a good job. I'm blown away to think that Juju should be a senior in high school. Like when I really step back and think about what I was like at that age. God have mercy on us if I was our quarterback here. They've done a great job. We're still early in camp. I think for all newcomers to get there in the spring and go through that is huge. Again, too often we forget about the personal side of this thing. The first time you've been away from home, how does this laundry machine work? Who takes care of these dishes? All those things. But they've done a great job, and it'll be a challenging camp. So looking forward to it.
Jack, go ahead.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, Bob.
With 3 guys from last year's secondary now in the NFL,
Yep.
How big is that for the current guys to see, if you work hard, you can get an opportunity?
It's great. I think we talk about it, at length. We're not just reading this from a book. We know what it takes to get there. Take Travis out of it. My son probably could have coached Travis. But for Cam and Shiloh to be there and doing great and getting reports and those kind of things, I think it's always easier in life when you see what the benefits can be. Somebody just talks about having like a blind grind and just doing it every day, and I get no reward, and then you look up and you're in an NFL camp. So I think the moral of the story is keep your head down, go to work, and good things will happen to you.
Last one, Jake. Go ahead.
Coach, you're going to have new linebackers obviously this year with Nakai and Lamonte gone. Just what have you seen from that room so far? Obviously Martavius, Reggie, but also like Kylan and JB who's coming back too.
Yeah, it's an uber competitive room. Coach Hart does a great job. I think it starts there. We talk about like leadership. We talked about that with Prime. I think Coach Hart's got a phenomenal way to reach players. I think that's where it starts. And we'll see where they fall. Right? Training camp is about competition, and I think in life, when we're pushed to be our best, that's when we get the best results. So I'm excited for the room. You've listed them. We'll see how it plays out. I think there's a lot of ability in that room, and I think it can be a strong suit for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
DJ, you ready? Yep, you said, brother. Hey, DJ, give me everybody. DJ,